Drew riles the crowd.
Cody's in the Rumble,
which I think we alluded to. And Grace targets Cargill. Welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
And there was only one way we could open, and that's with Drew McIntyre. He was played out by Pipers, raised the title to the crowd, and then after 12 minutes spoke. He claims to have brought the UK together. Thank you, Drew. Then thanks himself after asking the crowd where they were when he was fired. Drew then tells us that there was a clause in the contract that Cody signed before they fought. The clause, no rematch. Drew finished by saying that the dangerous, unpredictable Drew McIntyre era begins tonight. Orton's music then hits and he heads to the ring. Orton reminds Drew he's beaten him before for the title and will do so again, courteous of the letters RKO. More music then hits and it's the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu. Fatu heads straight to the ring, gets in and attacks McIntyre. Drew gets knocked from the ring, with Fatu then chasing after him through the crowd. As Orton watches on, he's blindsided by The Miz, who hits a skull-crushing finale just as we break.
So, first up, The Miz versus Randy Orton in a No.1 Contenders qualifier match for the undisputed WWE Championship. The Miz apes Orton by back body dropping the Viper onto the announcer's desk, with the fight then heading back to the ring. But we soon head back out with Orton returning the favour to Miz by dropping him onto the announcer's desk 3 times. A draping DDT sets up an RKO, but Miz counters into another skull-crushing finale and cover for 2. We eventually get what we came for, an RKO, with Orton then covering and progressing to the Fatal 4-Way at Saturday night's main event.
Which I think we said probably happened on Musings. Backstage, we see Drew McIntyre cross paths with Ilja Dragunov, with Dragunov saying he's going to win his match later. Drew tells him to win tonight and at Saturday night's main event, and then he'll see him at the Royal Rumble.
We have a vignette from Bo warning that the Lantern Solo Tuck will return and that they will not rest until it's home.
Backstage, we see Bliss complaining to Flair about not being there last week and then questions if she has her back. Flair says yes, with Bliss then heading off. Jax and Legend then approach Flair, with Jax trying to drive a wedge between her and Bliss, but Flair isn't biting.
Next out, Giulia and Kiana James versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. James and Giulia worked well together until Flair hit a crossbody from the top rope to James and covered for 2. Bliss then saved a covered Flair on 2, with Bliss then coming back in, hitting a Sister Abigail DDT and covering James for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Jax and Legend attack Flair and Bliss, sending them from the ring, with James then having to hold back Giulia as she's fronted up to Jax.
Yeah, interesting. I could see Giulia Jax, why not? Something different. Solo then cuts a promo saying if Howdy wants the Lantern back, then he suggests he put the tag team titles on the line.
Cody Rhodes heads out next with the crowd booing and chanting for Drew.
Which I like because it's a pantomime and that's the beauty of bringing it over to Europe. We play along.
Cody referenced Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin and himself as the only men ever to go back-to-back at the Royal Rumble, adding that one man has only ever won it 3 times, and that being Stone Cold. He got a pop after saying that London deserves a WrestleMania, also adding that he got a Blue Peter badge in this city. Rhodes then declared himself the first entrant in the Royal Rumble. Not sure if it means he's the number 1 entrant or it's just the first to put his name down.
I think he's probably the first to put his name down.
Yeah. Rhodes then talks about Fatu, saying that he has the biggest receipt he's ever handed out coming for him. He ends by saying he's going to beat the brakes off his ass.
Backstage, Kathy Kelly asks Matt Cardona what it would mean to win the title. And after a lot of nothing, he says he's back to be the undisputed WWE champion. You're not going to be.
Trick Williams versus Matt Cardona is next in another No.1 Contenders qualifying match for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Wow. Okay, cool, yeah. Not seen one of these before.
Cardona put up a great showing with a zigzag netting him a 2 count, but Williams finished it with a trick shot and cover for the win. After the match, Kit Wilson came out and attacked Cardona because...
Backstage, Kathy Kelly asks Damian Priest how he prepares for his opportunity. He questions if his match will actually be one-on-one, considering the MFTs are here. He'll do whatever it takes, though, to get to Drew.
We cut back to the ring to see Wilson say we all need leadership, meaning him, and that he's the tonic. Fatu then enters the ring from behind and kicks his head off before landing a moonsault. Fatu then grabs the mic and asks Rhodes if he has something to say to him, before asking him to bring out his punk ass.
CM Punk's here.
Rhodes responds and heads to the ring, with the two then trading off. Security head out and separate the pair, with Nick Aldis also coming out. Rhodes then breaks free and attacks Fatu, just as we break. When we come back, we find out that a fight between the two has been scheduled for Saturday night's main event.
See, I thought that might have been the Rumble, because we spoke about this.
Yeah.
But if Cody's going to be in the Rumble, which we did say he's going to want to be in the Rumble.
Exactly.
He's not going to be in the Rumble and fight Fatu. So, no, he's not, because that'll be a right banger, that one, I reckon.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so. The penultimate #1 Contenders qualifier match for the Undisputed WWE Championship is up next as Solo Sikoa takes on Damian Priest. Solo with all the MFTs and, of course, the Lantern. Priest leaves the ring after sending Solo to the outside, but then gets attacked by the MFTs when the ref isn't looking. The pair then trade blows and kicks, with Priest then picking up a 2 count.
Taller then trips Priest on the top rope and gets sent packing by the ref for his trouble.
The ref didn't see it though.
With Priest then countering what seemed like an incoming avalanche Samoan drop into a razor's edge and cover for 2. A spinning Solo and splash then gets Sikoa a 2 count, with Solo then readying a spike. As he does, the lights go out, which we predicted in our musings. With the lights then coming back on, the Wyatts attacked the MFTs and sent them packing, with Howdy then heading for the lantern. As he does, Solo attacks him, grabs the lantern and takes it with him to the ring. As he turns back to Priest, Priest is ready and hits him with the South of Heaven and then covers to qualify for the Fatal 4-Way. After the match, Howdy retrieves the lantern but is met with a big boot from Taller, who then gets the lantern back for Solo.
Backstage, McIntyre and Zayn exchange words, with Sami saying he's going to beat Dragunov, win the Fatal 4-Way, and then see Drew at the Royal Rumble. Drew reminds Sami he's beaten him 11 times, and that Sami's beaten him 0 times, and that nothing's going to change, which makes you think it is.
Carmelo Hayes faces Leon Slater next in a United States Open Challenge. Very quick, very jumpy, but the crowd are loving it. 2 count covers are exchanged, as well as chops and many 1 count covers. Slater nearly got the win after a Hurricane Rana into the pin, with Hayes then replying with a first 48 after Slater missed a 450 swanton, but only for 2. A cutter from the top rope then finishes Slater as Hayes covers for the victory. After the match, we see Shinsuke watching on the monitor, with Tama Tonga then appearing. Tama warns him that when the MFTs win the tag titles, he'll be going for the US belt, and to keep out of his way. Shinsuke responds in Japanese before walking off, leaving Tama looking like this.
They've been pushing this for a while, haven't they? Shinsuke and Tama, or certainly Tama for the United States Championship.
Been hanging around a lot, yeah.
But yeah, this is what you want, and I've said this before. If you're going to have a gang, they need all the titles like the Judgment Day did. They didn't quite have all of the titles, but they had a hell of a lot. Yeah. And I think that's what you need with the MFTs. Give them the tag titles, give them the US one. See, what else they're going to need? They're not going to get a championship between them, like the top title, but let them have some gold. Anyway, backstage, Johnny Gargano gets slapped by Fraser wearing an Axiom mask, with Fraser then informing us they'll be facing Gargano next week. Can't wait for that.
Out next, Chelsea Green versus Jordan Grace. Fire with Green. And Jade Cargill at ringside. Grace won with ease, finishing Green with a direct effect. But this was more to set up Grace versus Cargill. with Grace telling Cargill to step into the ring right now. The two square up, with Green mounting an attack at Grace. Grace moves, Green ploughing into Cargill and knocking her from the apron. Grace then picks up the title, raises it, and then tosses it back to Cargill.
I hope we don't get Cargill versus Green. We don't need that.
No, we don't need that.
Just job out to him. We don't need it. No. Backstage, Kathy Kelly asks Trick Williams what this confirms to him now he's in a fatal four-way. Williams says he's putting SmackDown on notice and that he's money. Priest then confronts him and tells him he's free on Friday and that he knows he's free on Friday. So presumably they're going to have a match next Friday, which I don't mind.
Sounds
that.
like it, yeah.
I'd rather see that than Gargano against Freezer. Oh, boring. Sorry, boring. Don't want to see it. Why are they filling that extra half an hour with that? Not interested. Sorry, Gargano fans or Freezer fans, but not for me. Sorry, you'll go.
Last match of the night, Ilja Dragunov versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, what in?
The last #1 Contenders qualifier match for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Thank goodness for that.
We have chops, German suplexes, standing switches, and a superplex from Zayn to Dragunov. Zayn picks up a 2 from a sunset flip, with the Mad Dragon then picking up 2 from a missile dropkick from the top rope.
Zayn then counters the H-bomb by getting his legs up, with the pair then fighting on the apron and Dragunov landing a torpedo Moscow. When back in the ring, Dragunov hits a powerbomb and then follows up with a senton, but Zayn counters with his knees, hits an exploder and haluva kick, and then follows up with a winning cover. After the match, Trick Williams attacks Zayn and puts him down with a trick shot. SmackDown goes off the air with Trick giving it the big un. I don't know why they had Trick coming out at the end, to be honest. He didn't need to.
No?
I mean, I'm assuming they just want to give him some TV time. Perfectly fine with that. But he's just had his match. He's in the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to come out. He's had some backstage stuff. He doesn't need to come out, but he did. That's fine. We called Orton and Miz on our Musings video.
Yeah.
It was always going to be Orton.
Yeah, definitely.
As Trick says, he's the money, not Miz. Sorry, Miz, but you ain't the money. And then I think we also called Howdy interfering in Solo's match, because that was a hard one to call.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, Howdy's bound to interfere.
Definitely.
He wants that lantern. 7 matches is a bit much. But there you go. I mean, people used to complain about Mania and other main events having too many matches. And now Triple H is doing the same thing. Let's put 7 matches in. They could have just had the 4.
Yeah.
Maybe Hayes.
Yeah.
That's 5. And the women's tag.
Yeah.
That would have been suffice. You didn't need Green, but then you're setting up Jordan Grace against Cargill.
Yeah, so it wasn't really a
But they could have had.
match,
But they could. It was. It finished.
Yes,
it finished, wasn't, didn't it? But you could have just had them interacting at the back. You could have been speaking to Grace. Cargill could have come up.
Yeah.
Grace could have been like, "What?" You didn't need Green setting that up.
No. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Anyway, now for my moment of the night. This could be a match, a line, a look, a promo, something funny, interesting, serious, quirky, and or different. Just something that catches my eye. Obviously, it has to wait until the end, because if I do it halfway through and it's something that happens at the end, it's kind of a spoiler. Yeah. So, Michael's moment of the night, sometimes good, sometimes you got it. So hang around and wait and see as to whether you disagree. Now, for me, it has to be the speed in which Slater landed his Hurricanrana into pin on Hayes. It looked like he planted Hayes headfirst into the canvas, and I'm surprised he carried on. It was one of them, you blink and you miss it. It was just so quick. I mean, both guys need to know what's coming. They need to know what's happening. But it was just, and it was brilliant. It was only 2 count. He should have won. I think he nearly had it, but absolutely fantastic.
Agree or have any thoughts or views that you'd like to share with us, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below.
Just down there.
Don't forget to go and check out our Musings video with our thoughts and opinions on the last week of WWE, because a new one drops every Wednesday.
As always, thank you for watching.
And we'll see you Tuesday for Raw.